Hi, this is Alex Masichev of Untitled, the developers of DITAToo. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how you can benefit from using Baseline Manager in DITAToo. Suppose that you have a project to be translated, but after you send it for translation to your agency, you need to keep working on the project. The problem that might arise here is that by the time you got to the translation, your content will be several versions ahead, so the content in the source language and the translation will be unsynchronized. With Baseline Manager, before you send the project for translation, you can create a snapshot of the project called Baseline. Basically, Baseline represents your project frozen at a certain moment of time. While the project is being translated, you can keep working on it. After you received the translation, you can specify that you want to upload it as a translation of the earlier created baseline, rather than a translation of the current state of the project. Let's see how it works. I select the project and, in the version menu, I select Create Baseline. DITAToo prompts me to enter a name for the baseline. I'm entering the name, click Create, and the baseline that represents the current state of the project is now created. Now, I can download the project for translation. By the way, if you have Workflow Manager too, you can configure it so that DITAToo will automatically prompt you to create a baseline every time you download a project for translation, so you will never forget to do it. So now the project is downloaded for translation, and because I have the baseline, I can unlock the project and keep working on it. For example, I may want to upload this topic by adding a couple of more paragraphs. I'm checking in at the topic to save the changes. Now let's imagine that the translation is ready and I can upload it to the repository. Because I've created a baseline before sending the project for translation, I can now specify that the translation I've got is the translation of the earlier created baseline rather than of the project as it is now. Once the translation is uploaded to the baseline, you can easily retrieve it. For example, you can publish a specific baseline in a specific language, of course including the source language. You can also download a specific baseline in a specific language, of course including the source language. There are some more possible scenarios when Baseline Manager can help you. Let's say that you have a budget for translating your project to Spanish and German. A few months later, you get an additional budget for Dutch and Italian. However, you worked on the content in the source language during this time. So you cannot send the project for the additional translation as it is now. Instead, the project as it was several months ago when it was being translated to Spanish and German should be sent for translation. This is when Baseline Manager can be very helpful. Or another scenario. Last year, Release 1.0 of your product was rolled out to your customers. This year, Release 2.0 is made available. But Release 1.0 is still available, and you now want to introduce a new output format for your documentation and publish the user guide for Release 1.0 in that new format. These were some examples of how you can use Baseline Manager to manage your releases. Please don't hesitate to contact us for more information. Also, we'll be happy to see you in our community in LinkedIn, where we discuss both DITAToo related topics and general data issues.